Yes.
How good is Chris Jericho?
Hell, he even came up with Money in the Bank. He pitched that idea to Vince McMahon. At first, Vince was like, I don't know if that's going to work. And then all of a sudden, on his podcast, he told, I forget who he told. I think it was Baron Corbin. He pitched it to Baron Corbin. He's like, yeah, I came up with the Money in the Bank after Baron Corbin won. He's like, yeah, I told Vince. Vince wasn't interested. And then a few weeks later, he's like, I think we're on to something here.
I'm telling you, man, Chris Jericho, to me, might be the best in the world.
I would agree with you 150%. I mean, what guy can leave, come back, be in the main event, leave, come back, be in the main event, leave, come back,
Be in the main event.
Be in the greatest Royal Rumble, be in a Royal
Eat,
Rumble.
sleep, repeat.
Okay, he took a line out of Brock, but okay.
Eat, sleep, be awesome, repeat.
Call out wrestlers from New Japan Wrestling, jump over the barricade, attack them.
Have his own cruise line.
Have his own
with
cruise
Ring
line.
of Honor Impact. I mean...
And former wrestlers and former
he just
referees.
has garnered that respect in wrestling.
Has his own podcast. I mean, we could sit here and just constantly talk about it. We could dedicate a whole episode. But we could take it further. We could do a whole start to finish about Chris Jericho.
Maybe we will. Maybe one day we'll do an entire episode on Chris Jericho.
I like that idea. 100%.
If Chris Jericho becomes the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, we will do an entire episode on Chris Jericho.
Oh, high stakes
How
here.
about that?
I like that.
We've come full circle, man. We've done it all.
Will you be watching Money in the Bank this summer?
I will. I'm never going to not watch the WWE. I just don't watch it as religiously as I used to. I actually go back and watch the old stuff because I didn't get to relive that. I get to relive that as an adult now. Let's say that 5 times.
Relive it as an adult.
As a child, you don't really get to enjoy Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage or Roddy Piper and the Piper's Pit. You don't get to really enjoy those as a 2 or 3-year-old. I want to see those again, so I watch those.
True.
I can't justify watching every week Raw, SmackDown. Then you got NXT and pay-per-views, and every week it's so much wrestling. I just can't watch all of it.
Don't forget about Superstars.
And Superstars, and what else is there? I mean, there's 205 Live. I can't watch all of it. I'll go back, check out the highlights and stuff like that, but I can't watch all of it, 3 hours of Raw every time. I just can't do it. But I'm never going to stop watching WWE. That's never going to happen. What do you got coming up next week? What do we got coming up?
Next week, we are taking our show
on the road.
No,
I'm just kidding.
We're taking our show to a different area. One that you may be very familiar with. It just so happened the WWE trademarked a few names, I guess you could say.
Okay.
One name that comes to mind is a 3-letter word.
Okay.
We know them as the NWO. Next week, we would like to talk about if the NWO was to be revived today. And I'm not saying we're bringing back Scott Hall, Hogan, and Kevin Nash. It was revived today with a brand new NWO. Which current WWE superstars would you like to see, or would they benefit to be in that new NWO?
And you're also going to get a Ant-Man history lesson, as I like to say. We'll take a look back at some of the NWO's greatest moments.
I love history.
I love it too.
Well, anyway, enjoy the pay-per-view. Enjoy whatever specials and events you'll be watching. Anthony, you have a good week, and we will see you next Monday. This show goes on the air, so until then, this is Keith, the Loganator, alongside Anthony Ant-Man. Remember to listen to us on Spreaker.com, iTunes, iHeartMedia. Follow us on Facebook at Ringside Rumble, and also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Ringside Rumble.
Because we are the best podcast in the world, and also the best podcast at what we do. That makes no sense at all.
No, let's just
all right.
Cut it to music.
Cut it. We're signing off from here. You've been listening to Ringside Rumble Radio. Have a good night, guys.